On this episode of Travelogue, we drive across the top of the world to arrive in Sichuan's Shangri-La area. We'll immerse ourselves in Buddhist mysticism at the Gongga Langjiling Lamasery and discover why Yading is said to be the source of inspiration for James Hilton's Shangri-La. We'll marvel at sacred peaks that are steeped in legend and be overwhelmed by the majesty of our natural surroundings. We've now left Litang and on our journey towards Yading in the Shangri-La area. Our road crosses through snow-capped mountains that still have the remains of glaciers from a bygone era. We're now 4,700 meters high, and this kind of scenery, all of this, will become more and more common as we drive towards Yading and its 3 sacred peaks. I'm Duran, and welcome to Travelogue. Pushing ourselves forward towards Shangri-La, we climb onto Haizi Mountain, the highest place we'll drive across this entire trip. I'll be honest with you, even though it feels like you're walking across the top of the world, there's a certain sense of dread that you just can't shake off, and I know I definitely wouldn't want to be stranded up there. Oh, we're on Haizi Mountain, which I'm told is 5,000 meters high up, and all I can see around me is barren rock, snow, and this kind of ice wasteland. But I can't believe that even this high up, you can see a road paved all the way over there into the horizon, and power lines behind us, and right here, someone's actually inscribed the Tibetan mantra on this huge boulder. I can't believe it. This feels out of this world. And I'm also freezing, so I need to get back to the car. The road to Yading gets pretty dangerous. When you're this high up, the weather can change so drastically that within minutes, visibility can drop to absolute zero. We had to get up at 5:30 in the morning, and it's so cold I can't feel my toes. But we've driven to the top of Urchulsan to watch the sunrise over the mountaintops, and it really is very, very beautiful. Shangri-La is a place known by many, but understood by few. It's originally from the book Lost Horizon by James Hilton, and is a mythical paradise hidden from the outside world, where people apparently live forever. It's hard to say where Hilton got his idea from, but some believe it refers to Shambhala, a pure land in Tibetan Buddhism where all the inhabitants are enlightened. Others consider it a state of mind. However, I've been told that Hilton was in fact inspired by the accounts of Yading and its mountains written in 1928 by American explorer Joseph Rock. The 3 sacred mountains found here represent the bodhisattvas of compassion, wisdom and wrath. And it's said that every Tibetan's wish is to make at least one pilgrimage here in their lifetime. So I've been told that before the Tibetans go and visit the 3 sacred peaks in the Yading Nature Reserve, they must first come and pray here at the Gongga Langjiling Lamasery. Let's go inside and have a look. Since ancient times, pilgrims have come here to burn incense and gain blessings for their visits to the sacred mountains. Built in the 15th century, Gongga Langjiling is one of the biggest lamaseries in Daoshan, and it's well worth paying the 10 RMB entrance fee to come in and see the beautiful Buddhist murals, statues and practicing lamas. We're really very, very lucky. and I've been told that we've arrived at the end of a 7-day Buddhist ceremony. Now, the lamas must burn 1,000 of these yak butter candles and also make 1,000 sculptures of chortens out of tsampa and also yak butter, and recite sutras 1,000 times. Let's go inside and see. This entire ceremony, complete with ritual offerings, is being carried out because of one special item. Kept in a room unfortunately off limits to tourists, this lamasery holds a solid gold chorten with a bronze statue of the Maitreya Buddha inside, a gift from the 5th Dalai Lama. Maitreya is a future Buddha who's prophesied to appear on earth after Buddhist teachings have been forgotten, and since the statue is too heavy to bring out, the lamas here make chortens as a substitute. These sculptures that look like chortens, the stupas that we see outside, are offerings to the Buddhas, and they're made of tsampa and yak butter, and each of them represents something. This circular thing in the middle represents the wheel of transmigration, the wheel of existence in Buddhism, and then above it, the moon and the sun at the top. I have been really looking forward to seeing one of these. This is a Bhava Chakra, and it depicts the wheel of transmigration, the wheel of existence in Buddhism. And right in the middle, you see the 3 poisons of Buddhism, the pig representing ignorance, the rooster representing greed, and the snake representing hatred. And as we move outward, you have these 6 realms, the 6 realms of Buddhism, where you have the devas at the top, the gods, and then on the left-hand side are the humans, and the top right, the asuras, the half-gods. And as we move towards the lower half of the circle, you've got the animals here on the left, the pretas, the hungry ghosts on the right, and right down here, Naraka, which is Buddhist hell. And as we move even further out, this outer section has 12 sections, and these 12 sections represent the 12 sins, the 12 causalities that cause us to remain in this never-ending cycle of life and death. And right at the top, you have this kind of scary figure, the 3-eyed figure. This is usually the god of death, Yama, who holds onto the wheel of transmigration, which represents the fact that life is transitory, that everything is impermanent. Legends say the Buddha himself created the first Bhava Chakra, and I found myself awestruck by the complex yet perfect clarity of its design. Some say that if humans are able to rid themselves of their worldly desires, they stand the best chance of becoming enlightened and escaping from the never-ending cycle of life and death. Departing from the lamasery, we head towards Urua, which lies in Shangri-La County. For most people, Urua is the final place where they can stock up on supplies and get a good night's rest before heading off for Yadin. So there are lots of different types of accommodation here in Urua, ranging from youth hostels to 4-star hotels, but I've chosen something more traditional, and this 150-year-old house has been renovated into a hotel, which is where I'm staying at. Let me show you around. Alright guys, come inside. This is my room. Everything here is original, except for the furniture. They're all new. And I've got all the mod cons. I've got a flat screen TV. Let's go check out my shower. You see, this is nice, this is nice. Honestly speaking though, all of this doesn't come cheap, and it costs around $100 a night to stay here. But honestly, if you're going to come here, you might as well sample the traditional Tibetan house and traditional Tibetan culture. And if you look outside, all the other houses are in the same style as well. I was really impressed by the design of this guest house. I love the fact that, although it looks like any other Tibetan house on the outside, its inside is that of a completely modern hotel. The key word here is convenience, and there are even prayer wheels on the floor above for the discerning Buddhist. Alright guys, this is the 3rd floor,
and we've got a really lovely terrace here. And since we're in such a central location, I've got a really nice view of the old-style Tibetan houses and then the mountains surrounding us on all sides. It's a really nice view.
There's another reason why I chose this place, and if you see these guys outside, you simply must join in on the fun.
This is the local dance, and they do this whenever they have a bit of spare time, but I don't think I'm very good at this. Although I have no idea what they're singing. Apparently they're singing these songs that are meant to be very beautiful, and they're meant to be poems as well.
You'll often see guests and locals dancing outside, as it's one of the best ways to get a taste of everyday Tibetan life. This house used to be owned by the village head. These days, he lives in a modern building nearby, but he still treats this place as his home, and often comes over to eat and chat with his family and friends.
After a long round of dancing, we're going to sit down to some Tibetan-style dinner, so
Plush modern rooms and a genuine Tibetan experience. You really can have the best of both worlds here.
Sorry guys, I'm a little emotional right now because we drove through the clouds, and as we drove, the clouds parted and we suddenly saw the face of Siennaru, the incarnation of the Bodhisattva, Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, and we just saw it for an instant, and sorry.
It's hard to describe what came over me, but as soon as I saw the peak of Siennaru, I was overwhelmed by a sense of joy and relief. Siennaru is said to represent the Bodhisattva of compassion, but you don't have to be Buddhist to believe that mountains aren't just mountains. There's something else there, and it's that power that'll move you so completely, even to the point of tears.
We're at Longlongba, which lies at the entrance of the Yading Nature Reserve. We've just gotten off that huge kind of shuttle bus, and now we have to make the rest of the way by horse. Or if you can walk up there as well, but I don't think my body's up for it.
It's 80 RMB per single trip by mule, and while you can walk all the way up to the main congregation area, the mule ride will save you some much needed time and energy, something you'll need if you want to see all the sights further inside the reserve.
So we've arrived at a bit of a pit stop here, and from here you can take a shuttle bus that will lead you up to the lawn pastures over there, but our destination is actually the Chonggu Temple over there, where everyone comes to pray before they visit the 3 sacred peaks. If you do come here, I would advise you to bring some food, because there are no restaurants here.
If the weather is good, the Chonggu Plains affords a superb view of the sacred peaks of Siennaru and Xianodoji, the Bodhisattva of Wrath. Originally founded some 700 years ago, the Chonggu Lamasery is the starting point of the Kora, or pilgrimage, around these sacred mountains. Tibetan Buddhists believe 1 Kora around the peaks is equivalent to reciting the Om Mani Padme Hum mantra 100 million times, and after 3 Koras, all of their wishes will be fulfilled.
In 1928, Joseph Rock visited Chonggu Lamasery and stayed here for 3 days. On the 2nd floor of this Lamasery, he described the view of the peaceful Yading village and also the valley below as well.
From Chonggu Lamasery, it's about a 40-minute hike to Pearl Lake, which gives arguably the best view of Siennaru. This peak is said to be the incarnation of Avalokiteshvara, otherwise known as Guanyin, the Bodhisattva of compassion, and also the patron deity of Tibetans.
This is so beautiful. I can't believe how lucky we are. Even this morning, we could only see Sianaru through a small gap in the clouds. And now the sun is out, the sky is clear, and you can see Sianaru in its full glory. And you've got the emerald-coloured Pearl Lake at its foot. You can even see the reflection in the waters. They say that only the really pious can see Sianaru in its full glory.
It'd been snowing heavily for the 2 days before we arrived, so you can imagine how lucky we were to see Sianaru so clearly. There's a saying for Sianaru that goes, "Only visit me when my body is white, and should my body turn to black, visit me no more." A strong reminder that these kinds of places can only exist with proper conservation.
Alright guys, our shuttle bus is here. Let's go to the Lorong pastures. 哎呀，我坐这儿了啊。哎，好，呀，走。Alright guys, see you in a bit.
Our destination today is the Milk Lake. It's nestled high up between the 3 sacred peaks, and it's one of the most difficult places to reach in Yading. Just remember, if you want to go there, do set out early, as it is a pretty long trek.
In James Hilton's Lost Horizon, he talked about the Shangri-La, a lost valley, and this really feels like it. We've got a road that's kind of paved through, but everything else, personally, for me, this is Shangri-La. Hey. 杨麦涌？哪边？最右边的，最右边的。就刚出来的，刚显示。Guys, that's Yangmayong. This is the first time we've seen the sacred peak of Yangmayong. In Tibetan, these 3 sacred peaks, they're called Kongka Risam Gongba, I think. And Kongka Risam Gongba, I got it right. And it means the 3 sacred protective mountains that snow will never melt on. And you can see on Yangmayong, the Bodhisattva of Manjushri, that there's no actual rock that appears through the mountain. It's completely covered by snow.
In some ways, Yangmayong almost seemed like a perfect representation of Manjushri, the Bodhisattva of wisdom. Its sharp and clearly defined peak looks like a sword thrust into the heavens and piercing the clouds. And if you then look at statues of Manjushri, you'll always see he's holding a flaming sword that represents transcendent wisdom, cutting through clouds of ignorance.
Alright guys, we're at Lorong pastures, and I didn't expect it to be this snowy, but this should have, people should be showing their yaks around, the yaks should be grazing around these pastures. We're finally here!
Yaks really do come here to graze, but you have to wait until summer when these plains become verdant pastures. This place is also the first point at which all of the 3 sacred peaks can be viewed, and it's from here that you can hire mules to take you up to Milk Lake.
Right now, we're in the Lorong pastures where the altitude is around 3,000 meters, and we're heading for Milk Lake, which is about 4,000 meters above sea level, so around a 1,000 meter difference. And right now, riding on this horse and walking into the mountain valley, I really do feel like Joseph Rock as he explored the valley of Shangri-La.
It is quite expensive to go up by mule, and a round trip will set you back around 300 RMB. But it does mean that it will take you just 1.5 hours to reach Milk Lake, as opposed to more than 4 hours by foot. It's a pretty tiring climb, so if you do decide to take the easier route, be sure to arrive early, as only 90 people per day can go up by mule. For an additional fee, you can also ask the wranglers to help you carry your bags.
So like I said earlier, this road really isn't very easy to go up, and we've had to get off our horses because bloody hell! The horses can't The horses can't carry us over this stretch of muddy water.
As you climb up, the trail becomes tougher and tougher. Our path basically takes us across muddy plains, over exposed boulders, and then onto slippery rock surfaces that we had to clamber over. Here, a 10-minute mule ride is basically equivalent to half an hour of walking.
Oh my god. I don't think we're even well, we're probably 3/4 of the way there, but this place is absolutely gorgeous. I'm sweating like a pig, and my head is really throbbing. My heart feels like it's in my mouth. But just look around you, man. Just look around you. Have you ever seen something like this?
I've never climbed a path as beautiful as this, and it felt like we were exploring an unknown part of the Himalayas. The way up to Milk Lake is not easy, but nothing beats the feeling of finally reaching the top after such a tiring trek.
I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I'm absolutely caked in mud. Look at my shoes. Look at my shoes. Look at my trousers. And my fool earlier caked my bum in mud. But honestly, who cares? Our journey took a little over 1 hour, and it was quite possibly the best climb I've ever had. And now we've arrived at our destination. Over there, what you can see, the lake over there, the one that's shimmering in the sun, is the Milk Lake that we've been looking for. This is it's like a mountain oasis. It's absolutely incredible.
We must thank our wranglers, as not only did they take responsibility for us, our mules and our bags, but they're also in charge of keeping this place as pristine as it is. As much as the locals want tourists to climb up to Milk Lake, it's still a sacred place to them, so make sure not to disturb the surroundings, and remember, take all your litter with you.
We're nestled in between the Konkari Sumgomba, the 3 sacred peaks, and behind me, this is the sacred peak of Shenaru. Over there, the sacred peak of Shenadoji, and over there, the sacred peak of Yangmayo. And right in front of me here is the sacred lake of Milk Lake. This feels like a mountain oasis.
Milk Lake receives its water from the glacier running off Yangmayo. It gets its name from the reflections of snow-capped peaks on its surface, which turn the edges of the lake milky white.
It's hard to describe this feeling, but nestled here between the sacred mountains and standing next to this tranquil lake, I feel some kind of spiritual fulfillment. It sounds a bit cliche to say it, but I really do. And my one regret is that we were never able this time round to climb up to the 5-coloured lake. That will take about another 30 minutes and requires us to climb over Shenaru, the sacred peak of Shenaru. If you come here, I highly, highly, highly recommend you go there, because I've been told and I've read that it's absolutely amazing there as well.
I was once told that to understand Yadin is to understand compassion, wisdom and bravery. Although I can hardly say I've come away as a new person, this place has definitely moved and inspired me. Perhaps it's the sheer magnificence of nature, or maybe it's something a lot more spiritual. But here in Yadin, you definitely come away with your soul cleansed.
After so long, after walking for so much, I feel I have finally found my Shangri-La. Standing here with the wind blowing against my face and the sun setting over the horizon, I feel that this is really my Shangri-La. I'm Taran, and we'll see you next time on Travelogue.